Welcome to the College Admissions Process Podcast presented by Prep Expert. Prep Expert offers live online SAT and ACT courses with the best score guarantees, instructors, and curriculum. Go to prepexpert.com to guarantee your child's success. I'm also excited to share my book, Straight from the Admissions Office, a review of my biggest takeaways from the first few hundred podcast episodes. It's packed with direct insights from admissions professionals and practical tips to help students and their families navigate the college admissions process. You can find all of the information in the show notes. Welcome to The Cap, where we are here to speak with college reps and other professionals in the field of college admissions to help answer all your questions and guide you through every step of the process. So if you're serious about college admissions, you've come to the right place. Are you ready? Let's talk about it. And now, here's your host, Dr. John Durante. Welcome to The Cap, the College Admissions Process Podcast. I am your host, John Durante, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you today Kelli Nienstedt, who's the Assistant Director of Student Activities at Marist University. Now, Kelli was on episode number 48 way back in June of 2022. Kelli, thank you so much for coming back. How are you today?
Thank you so much for having me again. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. And again, that first episode, number 48, was released in June of 2022. So Kelli, since then, what can you share that's new at Marist and even with yourself and your new position?
Absolutely. So more recently with Marist, we have changed from a college to a university back in January of 2025, so about 7 months ago. And that change was it was and is very exciting for the community, students, staff, faculty. We had a whole celebration, a whole day's worth of events for everyone to join and to celebrate. And I think the university piece will really allow us to grow even more than we have so far. And we're all really excited.
Well, that's terrific. Going from a college to a university, which really shows that the students and their families wanted more from that awesome thing that we now call Marist University. Now, Kelli, Marist has built a reputation for combining a strong liberal arts foundation with professional preparation. How does that blend come to life in the day-to-day student experience, both inside and outside of your awesome classrooms?
I think that everything Marist has to offer to our students really allow them to grow throughout the 4 years. Working in admissions was very exciting, and I absolutely loved my time in the admissions office of connecting with prospective students, helping students find the right fit for them, college, university-wise. And with my work with our current students, working with tour guides and the visit process for when students would visit Marist, I have found a love for working with our current students, which is why I moved over to a new position in the student activities office. Our focus in my current role is to really focus on the experience outside of the classroom. Clubs, activities, events give students something separate from the academics to really allow them to explore all different areas and opportunities while they're here at Marist. And I think one of the biggest things that allow students to really grow and find leadership is our clubs. Our students are incredibly involved on campus, and they really want to show leadership, show confidence. And throughout that process and throughout working with a lot of our clubs and our executive boards, I've really got to know the students, and it shows just how much confidence and control they have over their academics as well as outside their academics. So I think the overall experience that Marist offers allows students to grow not just in academics and learn more, but outside of that as well.
Well, you definitely have a lot to offer both inside and outside of those awesome classrooms. And I appreciate how you explained that when you were in admissions, you were working to build that freshman class. So you were looking at students that weren't quite there yet at Marist. And now, in fact, you are totally immersed with the current students to give them the best experience, the best opportunities to grow while they're there for those 4 years and hopefully beyond. But let's revisit, Kelli, just for a minute, the admissions process briefly. When you were reviewing applications, what qualities or experiences made an applicant stand out as a strong fit for the Marist community?
Yes, and I cannot speak for the current admission committee, but when I was on the committee, we were really looking for students who were involved overall, students who did well in academics, challenged themselves, took AP courses, honors courses, IB courses, anything that their school had to offer, but within their range. We didn't want 10 AP classes, but the student wasn't doing so well in the classes. We wanted students to challenge themselves within their range. We didn't want students taking 10 AP courses and not doing so great. We wanted students to take a few within their range and to really challenge themselves within their high school experience too.
Totally understood. And I know you're no longer in admissions, but we all know if you read the website, Marist is in fact test optional. Kelli, can you walk us through how applicants should decide whether to submit those test scores and how the admissions team evaluates applications without them in a way that ensures equity and fairness for all?
When I was on the admission committee, I always encouraged students to do what was best for them in regards to submitting their test scores. I always tell students that we were test optional for a reason. We wanted students to have that option and to do what was best for them. We also shared with students the range of test scores. So I would encourage students to look at that range. And if they were between that range, maybe a little higher, absolutely submit the scores. And that range was the middle 50% of students that submitted their scores and what their scores actually were. So I think it gave students a good foundation of, should I submit my scores or should I not submit my scores?
Terrific. We appreciate that. And I know you have something for everyone. And a question that's come up a lot lately has been for students who are neurodiverse or those who had an IEP or perhaps a 504 plan while in high school. So, what kind of academic and personal support does Marist provide, both during the admissions process and once those students are on your awesome campus?
Yes, so it starts with the admission committee. The admission committee, the admissions office works with so many other offices on campus to help students learn the options that they have before they even get to campus. We want students to know that they will have that support before they even make their decision or arrive to campus in the fall semester. One of our biggest offices that the admission office works very closely with, as well as my current office, is the Office of Accommodations and Accessibility. That office works with students who have learning disabilities, ADHD, ADD, anything that they may need. And that office works with students on note taking. Students can take extra time on tests. Students can take tests in a different room. Whatever sort of accommodation a student may have had in high school, they can absolutely bring that to Marist. And then they work with the Office of Accommodations and Accessibility to do that. We also have our academic learning center. We have our writing center, our proofreading center, our tutoring center. There are so many options, and we really encourage students to utilize every opportunity available to them to make sure that they're doing as well as they can within their academics.
Well, there's definitely a lot of options to support your students. And I was just curious, in terms of what you described under the Office of Accommodations and Accessibility, do students need to pay additional fees for that, or is it part of the overall tuition?
So there's kind of two parts to that office. One part is our learning support program, and then the other part is their general Office of Accommodations and Accessibility. The learning support program is a separate application and a separate fee on top of the tuition. And that part of the office learning support program allows students to meet with a learning specialist twice a week. They create plans, kind of go through calendars, all their assignments, and they really set students on the path for success. The other part of that office, more the general part, is that there is no application, there is no extra fee, but that helps students with getting extra time on tests, taking tests in a different room, things like that, things that they may have had in high school that they're bringing to Marist.
Exactly. It sounds very familiar to what they may have had while they were in their high schools. And of course, Kelli, academic advising plays a huge role in helping students explore majors, research, and graduate or professional pathways. What does academic support look like at Marist, and how are students guided as they navigate such a flexible and intellectually rich curriculum?
Yes. So as I mentioned, we have our academic learning center, which is comprised of all different parts. We have the writing center, proofreading center, tutoring, all things to help students be successful within their academics. We also assign every student an academic advisor. That academic advisor works with students on planning their schedule, picking out their classes, making sure that they're on the right path. That advisor will also say you're a student that wants to know they want to study abroad. you'll meet with your academic advisor and kind of plan out some of those semesters. So you'll meet with them and say, I think I want to study abroad fall semester of my junior year. Your academic advisor says, great, let's plug in your classes surrounding that. So it really helps students kind of plan out their 4 years, which may seem daunting at first when you're a first year student, but I think it's super helpful for students to know how to plan, kind of look forward to what they have coming up, and pick and choose the classes that they actually want to take within their major. There are a lot of options at Marist, so the academic advisor kind of helps narrow it down. We also have internship coordinators too, which students can work with, and there's an internship coordinator for every academic school, which is awesome too.
Well, that's terrific. Kelli, thank you so much. And how does Marist support students who are undecided or interested in exploring multiple majors before committing to a specific plan?
Yeah, so Marist, it's actually one of the reasons why I chose to come to Marist. It was one of the only colleges and universities that had a program like this. So we have a focus program, and the focus program is a class that any first year student can take. They can take a class in the fall semester of their first year, and then again also in the spring semester. The class in the fall semester is more of an academic learning class, seeing the different majors and minors that Marist offers. I remember physically getting a booklet of our majors and minors that we offer and crossing out anything that didn't seem like interesting to me, and then circling, okay, what might be an option? So you can kind of narrow it down, which was super helpful for me because I looked at what I might like, what I might be interested, what I might be good at, and that's kind of what the class is all about. The spring semester that class looks a little bit more at careers and potential careers that come from specific majors. So I interviewed a few alumni, which was great. And so that's how I kind of landed on communications. I learned through the alumni and the class that I like to talk to people. I'm very organized. I like kind of the behind the scenes too, so I think it's a great program.
Well, all of that definitely sounds super helpful, and it's clear that you have something for everyone. Now, Kelli, Marist is also known for its global focus, including the campus in Florence, Italy. What are some of the most popular or impactful study abroad options for your students?
Absolutely. There is so much to choose from. We really tell students and encourage them to travel wherever they'd like, and we will help them through every step of the way. Obviously, Florence is the most popular destination because of the branch campus, but we also have a huge population that goes to Ireland. We have a full program called the ASAP program that travels all over Asia. We have a lot of students that go to London, so there's a lot of options and a lot of popular places across the world.
Well, that's terrific. And Kelli, I know that you know that I always put the Office of Undergraduate Admissions in the show notes. If there are any links to resources that you've mentioned or anything else, just send them to me. And of course, we'll make them available in the show notes. Now, Kelli, now that you've transitioned into your new role as Assistant Director of Student Activities, what excites you most about helping students connect outside of the classroom?
It has been so much fun working with our current students, working with our clubs, doing different events on and off campus. So the Office of Student Activities, we oversee our 121 clubs to be specific. So we have a lot for students to join, a lot for students to look forward to. We do off-campus trips. So we do trips to Broadway. We do trips to MLB games, NHL games. We did our first NFL game last fall. So a lot of fun things for students to look forward to. And then on campus, we do a lot of movie nights. We have game nights. We had a casino night, just fun things and different things for our students to join and to come to while they're a student and outside of the classroom. During Welcome Week 2, we have an event every single day. So we had a petting zoo, we do goat yoga, so some really fun things.
Well, it's not just some fun things, but a lot of fun things. I know many students that are currently students at Marist, and many of whom have graduated, and nothing but amazing accolades for everything that you guys do at Marist. And by the way, I did visit about 2 or 3 years ago now, and your campus is spectacular. I love how you're right there on the river. It's just so, so beautiful. And this has been a phenomenal conversation. But before I get to the last question, Kelli, I need to ask, is there a question that I didn't ask that you wish I had? Or is there something else you'd love to share with students, families, and counselors who are listening about Marist University?
I think just that Marist is a very special place, and the people are what make it. Coming from a full Red Fox family, I think probably mentioned this a few years ago when we spoke before, but both my parents are Marist graduates. Both my older sisters are Marist graduates. Myself and my younger brother are
Wow.
both Marist graduates. So a full Red Fox family, and that's not uncommon. And I think that just is a testament to how amazing Marist is and what Marist offers to everyone.
Well, I'm so glad you shared that because that's quite unique that your parents both went to Marist, yourself, obviously, and all of your siblings, which
Yeah.
it really is a testament to the great work that Marist does. Again, not only in those amazing classrooms, but far beyond that. So, Kelli, this has been phenomenal. I can't thank you enough for coming back. Unfortunately, it does lead us to that last question, which is from your perspective, as both a former admissions representative and now a student life professional, what are your top three pieces of advice for students and their families preparing for the college admissions process?
Yes, my number one piece of advice is to visit whatever college campus you may be interested in. I think it is so important to visit each campus, see if you are able to visualize yourself there. If you visit a campus and you're like, I can't picture myself as a student, it is not the right fit for you. So you definitely want to visit, see yourself, and see as many places as you can. My second piece of advice is to see what types of things that each college or university has outside of the classroom. Academics, majors are extremely important, but I know we've talked so much about what we do on campus and all the events, and that's important too to the college experience. So you definitely want to see what types of clubs, activities, everything that the college offers. And the third piece of advice is to have fun. It's a daunting process, but it's a lot of fun when you're doing it with parents, guardians, and it's also exciting. So just have fun with it too.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun, as was having this conversation with you. Kelli, thank you so much for coming back. As expected, you were awesome. We really appreciate your time and expertise today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was such a pleasure.
The pleasure was all ours. And to everyone out there, good luck with the college search. Take care all, and best wishes. Thank you for joining us on this episode of The CAP, the College Admissions Process Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please don't forget to tell a friend and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. I am your host, John Durante, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of The CAP. Thank you for listening to the College Admissions Process Podcast presented by Prep Expert. Prep Expert offers live online SAT and ACT courses with the best score guarantees, instructors, and curriculum. Go to prepexpert.com to guarantee your child's success.